actionable intelligence and in some instances even participate in eliminating high-profile terrorist targets. Yet Nigeria's response too often appears hesitant, inconsistent, or altogether absent. The latest example is the June 22 designation by the United States of 3 individuals and 6 entities accused of facilitating the finances of the Islamic State across Europe, the Middle East, and West Africa. One of the 3 suspects is a Nigerian, allegedly operating from Nigeria through 3 bureau de change linked to the movement of ISIS funds. Now the question is this: what next? This is not the first time a foreign government has publicly exposed Nigerians allegedly involved in financing terrorism. On September 14, 2021, the United Arab Emirates published a list of 38 individuals and 15 entities designated as supporters or financiers of terrorism. 6 Nigerians featured prominently on that list. They had already been investigated, prosecuted, convicted, and imprisoned in the United Arab Emirates. Yet, until former President Muhammadu Buhari left office in May 2023, there was no visible effort by his administration to seek their repatriation for prosecution under Nigerian law or to use their convictions to dismantle any domestic support networks they may have operated. That was indeed a missed opportunity. The same pattern is evident on the battlefield. Until the reported midday killing of Abu Bilal al-Minuki and several of his lieutenants in Borno with acknowledged American involvement, the alleged second-in-command of ISIS globally was reportedly operating in Nigeria despite repeated official claims that he had already been eliminated. Last Christmas, American forces struck 2 ISIS camps in Sokoto, yet the Nigerian authorities failed to build on that intervention. Instead of receding, terrorism has spread. Armed groups continue to terrorize communities across the northwest, devastate villages in the north central, and increasingly threaten the southwest. The U.S. withdrew some of its troops from Nigeria last week. More than 40 school children and their teachers abducted in Oyo State are still in captivity since May 15, more than a month now. A reminder that insecurity is no longer confined to the traditional theaters of insurgency. Against that background, the latest U.S. terror list should trigger immediate action. The Nigerian, identified by the U.S., reportedly has a known address and allegedly operates 3 BDCs, 1 in Kano, 2 in Lagos. At this point, the Nigerian intelligence and law enforcement agencies need to swiftly investigate, interrogate, and where justified, prosecute these suspects. Yet we heard they went to the house and that the house has not been habitable for almost 2 years. That's what the intelligence are telling us ever since that address was released. Terrorism survives because it is financed. Yes, persons are actually financing terrorism in Nigeria. It's a huge business. In fact, most politicians are involved in this. Fighters require weapon, food, fuel, communications equipment, and transport. Money moves through informal channels, commercial banks, and cross-border transactions. Almost 3 generals and colonels have died since 2023 till now, something that had never been known for. Illegal mining has also become a major source of revenue for armed groups across parts of Nigeria. A serious counter-terrorism strategy needs to actually be done now. These obviously led to the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, saying, "Do not use the opportunity to claim that you have not been given an order. Shoot on sight." This was a declaration made just today because he says any operative who fails to neutralize criminals under the excuse of awaiting orders would be treated as collaborating with them. Musa made this remark just today in Sokoto while commissioning 62 operational vehicles and security equipment worth 27.127 billion naira procured by the Sokoto state government to strengthen security operations across the state. There was also a rowdy session in the Senate as to if they should invite Bola Ahmed Tinubu to respond to questions on insecurity and the fake agency in FEC. In regards to that, anyway, Adams Oshomole says, why do we still need to reintegrate and rehabilitate terrorists? Terrorists are not meant to be reintegrated. It was a rowdy session, but was there any resolution? No. To make it worse, the agency, the fake agency, the parliament today, that's the Senate, they refused to actually investigate it. After all the hula baloo, after wanting to invite the president, they said no, they're not investigating it. Why? Let's listen to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on that.
I have absolute confidence on the integrity of my chief of staff. All the issues all campaign of calumny and insinuations should stop. The buck stopped here. If I make mistake, I'm ready to own up to it.
Well, that was the president. Maybe I should take that again so we understand what he's saying.
I have absolute confidence on the integrity of my chief of staff. All the issues calumny and insinuations should stop. The buck stopped here. If I make mistake, I'm ready to own up to it.
Well, the president says if he made any mistake, he's ready to own up to it. But all campaign of calumny should stop. He still has very good trust on Femi Gbajabiamila, his chief of staff. The buck stops on his table. So what then is the necessity for proceeding further? Would you blame the Senate if they say they are no longer investigating this matter or setting up an investigative panel to look into this? What an irony, isn't it? Interesting. And then obviously, more budgets, more fake agencies has been exposed. This time around, it's not just now. It's been on for quite a while. These are the means through which they channel money. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Obi has called out to say his life is in danger. He went ahead to talk about the disrespect, bigotry, nepotism in the polity, and how rude he was attended to at the airport very recently, without even a care, at least albeit, of his standing. Let's take a listen to this.
There's a possibility you may not be a candidate based on how...
I'm not even a candidate. I might not even be alive. I'm telling you. Every single thing I do for a living, this government is frustrating it. Deliberately so. Everything. So there's even possibility if they have opportunity, I will not be alive.
Oh wow, that's a big...
It's an accusation. I know I get frustration every day. Because you do things that you think they will be normal. It is not normal any longer. They won't come directly and say, oh, we're doing this, but you could see their hand in virtually everything.
So the government is attacking you personally?
They're attacking everybody who is in opposition personally.
Right.
I'm being attacked personally. Everything. Even to provide me with necessary things that I should have been entitled to. Not at all. I had a case recently at the airport.
Okay.
Where people who work in the airport came and locked my car. And I said, it's me. The person on the side said, it doesn't care. But I said, look at the cars of other people. And you could see them talking to each other, you know, as if, who is this one? We have divided the country, breeding hatred among us. That's why I keep saying, I want to bring back unity where there's division. I want to show love, compassion, care. It's gone out of here. I said, I'm looking at somebody. He locked my car in front of me and saying, you're not supposed to park here. But there's cars here. So what is the exception to my own? Through the Anansi people I know at the airport, they will not greet me. Because they are fearing that if they greet me,
they become targets of the government.
Thank you. And now people send me invitation and say, my son, my daughter is wedding, but please don't come. Yes.
Wow. Isn't that interesting? My son, my daughter is getting married, but please don't come. or he goes to the airport and persons are free to meet with him. When did it get this bad in our polity? I remember in 2023, Atiku Abubakar and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, at the time he was not yet a president, he was a contestant, met at the airport. These are opponents. Atiku was in PDP then, Tinubu of the APC. They shook hands together and they greeted. So when did it get this bad? There's a general mobilization of hatred in the polity. Acrid hatred, it stinks, it smells. It's so bad that it's getting to children. Children were sent for a competition sponsored by an individual, the owner of Educare. His name is Alex Onya. This guy decided to sponsor these children to Rome for the STEM Olympiad. Now, it's something that anybody who is interested can register for, either a government, a private institution, whatsoever. Now, this man specifically said education is the best way to go and that he's going to focus on the Southeast. But guess what? These children went, and while he was updating on the timeline, you needed to see the conversation that rose. It is bad. It is so bad and deploring. And you know the worst part? You have children who monitor what goes on social media. I'm talking about teenagers. There is a galvanization, mobilization of hate, dispute, distrust, paranoia amidst all the challenges that Nigerians are facing. It's so bad as well that in the international community, Nigeria is not respected. Is it in South Africa? Is it even in the UK? Or is it in the US? Despite how much Nigerians are doing serious exploits in different fields, I'm telling you, go to the UK, go to the US, Germany, anywhere you see Nigerians doing so well, extremely hardworking. In fact, even in the most tight conditions. But guess what? The representation of Nigerians in the international community is poor. South Africans were insulting our president, insulting Nigerians, and calling us druggy. It is that bad. Ladies and gentlemen, where exactly are we? If a situation like what was exposed with a fake agency of 1.3 billion naira, the president, rather than saying this should be investigated, is saying that he still trusts his chief of staff and that the buck stops on his table. The Senate today, despite the consultation, said they were not going to investigate it. Then where exactly are we? Who takes action for irresponsibility? No punitive measures? What are we doing? Why must every political cycle be riddled with hate and division in Nigeria? From time immemorial, it has always been a tactic. Are we moving forward or we are retrogressing? Mr. Elvis Elimehele is my guest this evening. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening, Esther. Hi,
welcome.
You are sounding distressed with the Nigeria situation.
I got distressed when I saw the kind of hate comments on children. Like literally. And guess what? They represented Nigeria well. Those children went with a Nigerian passport, and when they won the gold medal, it was with the Nigerian flag. 3 boys and some ladies, they got gold in the mathematics and science STEM Olympiad, representing different institutions. Another one too, I think another secondary school as well, sponsored their children for another Olympiad. This one is on languages, linguistics and something. And those children came back with gold. Children of different ethnic groups, children of different capacities. And instead of that to be celebrated, they were looking at what region is the best, different whatever. And I was worried, like, what is this? Are you not meant to encourage these children for doing so with the dilapidated educational structure that Nigerians currently have?
Probably those children are hearing from their parents, and they also listen to news.
These children, or the people who are actually commenting against the effort of certain individuals to improve conditions educationally for our kids.
Yeah, they see the way the government, using divide and rule to push the nation. So this is where the problem is becoming.
Mr. Elvis, this is bad. Do you know? Do you know some people who were arrested in this? What do you call this? This vehicle that they used to put Kai. That car used to put some people who deterred or something.
Yes, Black Maria.
Black Maria. Mm-hmm. Do you know? Did you see that video?
I've not seen the video.
They were shouting on your mandate inside that.
Yeah, maybe when they sing that anthem,
they'll release them.
They'll be free. What will you not see? This is 2027 knocking at the door. 2027 general election. So you are going to see more. I'm going to see more things, Esther. So don't be distressed. That's the nation we find ourselves. So what do we tell Nigerians? Nigerians already know. Nigerians already know where we are going. Nigerians is already aware. So it's just for us to begin to believe that we'll be able to manage and see how we can salvage this situation. We have to look up to how we can salvage it. It's still salvageable, especially when we get it right in the coming pool.
Are you sure?
Yes, if we get it right in the coming 2027 general election, this nation is this situation, these challenges are surmountable. But if we miss it, I doubt whether we'll have Nigeria again.
But did you hear what Peter Obi said?
Yeah, I heard him. At least in our former in the show I had before. Now we also talked about it. We talked about it. What will you?
There were cars. He parked his own car. They locked it. Meanwhile, there were other cars, and he was talking to them. But there are other cars, and he says the aides were just communicating like he was non-existent.
Yeah, it's not the aid that are communicating.
No, what I mean the aides, the airport officials.
Yes, those are not people communicating, Esther. It's just like the voice of Jacob and the hand of Esau. There is an Oga at the top who has given them instruction on what to do. And that Oga that is giving them instruction also had instruction from the uppermost channel. That's the situation. Those aides, those junior staff naturally would have loved Obi. Because what Obi is clamoring for is to make this nation work for everybody. They would have loved him. But if the order is coming from their superior boss, and they don't have another job if they lose that job, do you understand what I'm saying? It's a chain of events. And that's what we are saying. We have to find a way to curb this. If we don't curb it, it becomes endemic. We are talking about the children now. So, which means our own generation will be polluted before now. The generation after us now, our children's generation, is going to also... Don't you see what you read on X all the time? Has it not become ethnicity and religion in Twitter? Is it not, and these are Gen Zs who have also copied from their father and their mother. They've copied from their parents, and because their parents, so many of them, their parents have become psycho fans. They are looking for what to eat. That's the same way that will happen to those ones that are singing on your mandate inside the Black Maria, because we are just trying to survive. That's the level that they've pushed us to. That by the time you get to this level, you will not be talking of survivor. When you are talking of survivor, you will not remember to accuse them for whatever they are doing.
This man set up a project. We're talking about the dwindling educational system. I remember during the JAM situation where there was a glitch and students started reaching out to him that there's something wrong with the systems. And a lot of them who feel they used to do well, right, were surprised at the outcome of the JAM results. I'm sure you could remember during Mr. What's his name? The former JAM registrars, Oloyede or something. Yes, exactly. Professor now, Oloyede. That period, they didn't believe. They were like, oh, JAM has been able to successfully delete all those magic centers where people pay to whatever. But it got bad because certain regions were affected. The southeast, the south, some parts of the south, and even here in the southwest. A young lady also committed suicide because of that. It was that reason this man raised the alarm, was reaching out to JAM, and, wondering exactly what was going on. Now, for some persons, they decided to tweak the whole thing by saying some persons, JAM, without even investigating it, came to say that some special centers, that they've devised some mechanism to identify special centers. And so no more magic special centers. And that's why the results were like that, especially from some regions. Do you know the meaning of such a statement? You now realize for them to have investigated, and Mr. Oloyede came to apologize that indeed there was a glitch. This man decided to take it upon himself to say, you know what, we need to reverberate and restructure our educational system. We will start encouraging serious drilling of students in several courses: mathematics, further maths, sciences, even civic and government. Current affairs. So they're setting up competitions, and he says they're not going to compete locally, they're going to compete globally. Education right now, Nigerians needs to be competing with their counterparts across the globe and not just within us. And he started off that project, and obviously it led to these students who have obviously etched their names in gold. I mean, the STEM Olympiad grand finale in Rome, Italy. Obviously it was of pride. Nigerians were actually happy with it. Chimdube Onwubiko, Don Alele Munachimso and Oyedikachi Egejurum, they emerged among the world's brightest in mathematics and science at the competition, which brought together outstanding young minds from more than 150 countries. This obviously has led to many students enrolling in that educare and in different institutions. They want to partake in this competition. In fact, there are fears that the students will be too much now, that these competitions will start cutting off. Nigerians, actually etch your name in gold. Another school for this same Olympiad, I think German Olympiad for linguistics, they sent 16 students, and our students came out fantastically well. Now, it was not just this particular Olympiad, it gained attention because Alex was tweeting and updating. There was another Olympiad as well that children from the Southeast also did exceptionally well. And even from the Southwest too, 16 of those students from the Southwest in one of the private schools went and they did well. Why wasn't these children encouraged and congratulated? Instead, there was a competition and they were throwing hate. Do you know the worst part? These children have access to social media to see all of this. Sir, adults went on X, open spaces, making derogatory comments rather than encouraging. Where are we? Is this not beyond politics?
It's beyond politics. You see, those adults have already they've spoiled their own generation and are now transferring it to the next generation. That's where the biggest problem is. This is the same adults that we're talking about that are now psychophants, that collect money to vote, that even encourage this corruption and rigging. They go to snatch ballot boxes. They don't even want it to end at their own generation. They are not transferring to the next generation. That's where the nation should be afraid of. If now that these other generations have collapsed, the next generation collapsed, do we have any nation any longer? Then you now begin to ask, where is the National Orientation Agency here?
Big question. I was going to come to that.
National Orientation
Do you
Agency.
know that the National Orientation Agency is now under the Ministry of Information?
Yeah.
Do you know about 9-point-something billion naira was designated to the National Orientation Agency for something like this? Why did they go moribund?
National Orientation Agency have refused to do their job. We saw Onilu Issa, the new DG,
yes,
came up with some campaign, in some media houses that day. Where is the campaign? Abruptly, it has stopped. You need to do more of this, especially when we are talking of this, election year we are into now. Nigeria need to first of all have a nation called Nigeria before the politicians can begin to think of the positions they want to occupy. If they kill this nation, you can only be a head in your home if you survive it. Those Nigerians that are in IDP camp, do they have homes any longer? Those ones that are being brought back from South Africa now, do they have homes? You can only be the head of a home when you can stay close from your respective place of work and get back and still meet your wife and your children. For those that are now scattered in IDP camp, carrying their boxes from South Africa and coming back to Nigeria, they don't have any business, they don't have anywhere to start from, they don't have a home any longer. So this is what politicians should know at all times, that first of all, let the unity of this nation be entrenched before you now begin to talk of whether you can vie for any position. If there is no Nigeria, you can't vie for any position.
Very true. So at this point, what are we doing?
We have to tell them that the nation belongs to us. Esther, I know most of the time you don't always agree with me on this. Mm-hmm. Protest and reminding politicians what we need and what belongs to us must not stop, because it is a constitutional guarantee in democracy. We must, since that's the only language the Nigeria government want to hear, at all time, let us begin to remind Nigeria government what we deserve from them. Through protest, they will come and shoot tear gas. They will definitely shoot tear gas. That must not deter us. We face bullets, and there are even more than tear gases when June 12 was announced.
My question is, if the National Orientation Agency was given a budget allocation of 98 billion naira for sensitization, for harmonization, literally for national cohesion, why are we not having that take place?
It depends on who is involved. It depends on who is involved, Esther.
Because they're meant to communicate government policies.
Yeah,
they're meant to educate the public. They're meant to promote national values, unity, foster unity among citizens. Yes, but they're derailing in that responsibility.
They've derailed over the years. And here now we are reminding them of their responsibilities.
So I remember when I was little, I see adverts during election times how they encourage Nigerians to go get their PVCs or their voters card at the
voters card,
time. They come with different languages, sometimes English, Pidgin, Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. You will hear it ringing across several radio stations. In fact, sometimes they do it in a dramatic way. You know, then we used to have radio dramas. Obviously, these are the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria introduced radio dramas, and it was very effective to educate. It was educating people. At the time, it was not every home that had access to television, so radio was a major means for entertainment, and radio dramas was one through which the drama there was quite educating. So you had these jingles, you know, perforating our airwaves at the time. By this time, with the kind of hatred experienced in the polity, you will see jingles from the National Orientation Agency across radio stations and television stations emphatically running and talking about Nigerians to please in one mind. All right, make sure they get their PVCs, know that their neighbors are not their enemies, and they have a right to choose whom they prefer. The collective responsibility of all Nigerians is to have a good Nigeria. To tell you how bad it is, currently as we're streaming on YouTube, I also have another dilapidated mind, a psychologically confused person, a mentally padlocked, will I call them slave to the current quagmire we're facing, saying, oh, Madam Esther, you go explain tire or whatever, take water, your mouth is like typewriter or whatever. Look at the kind of twisted psychological mindset of certain persons that benignly do not see anything beyond a sense of myopism. The primitive and barbaric state of the mindsets of some individuals who have become psychological, emotional, and mental slaves to an idea that is not even reminiscent or reflective on their future. So would we say that we have individuals who have deliberately decided to remain slaves even to the glaring reality in their faces?
They remain slaves because they want to remain as slaves. The people who made them slaves are people that they are celebrating today, Esther. If they want to get out of it, we know what to do. You see, because of psychophancy has transcend all the facets of the economy. Now, if you don't belong to them, you will not be able to eat. You will not be able to, pay your bill. Look at what Peter Obi is saying there, that even his business are not being affected. So when you see everybody now dance to their tune, no matter how big you are as a rich man, if the government want to clamp down on you, they start by stiffening up your business. But when they cripple your business, what else is left? Then you now be cap in hand and be begging them. So this is the reason why we must not allow violence and greed to enter this democracy. But because one person want to remain there and want to, begin to perpetuate his own ideas on every Nigerian, whether you like it or not, you see some of these things now thrive. It now become like, it's not like a national thing. It's not national. The democracy is all about choice. If you are not the person that the people want, let the people pick their choice. When we were growing up, I still remember we used to hear FEDECO, we used to call it FEDECO there, this INEC, used to be Federal Electoral Commission, FEDECO. In 1979 to 1980, they say, exercise your right by voting. They continue to play that jingle in radio, this same radio we're talking about. Exercise your right by voting. They let the people know that you have to vote to change a government and bring in the government that we know will do the bidding of the people. But today, that's no longer the issue. If exercising right now has been hijacked, you get to polling booth, people now begin to tell you leave the queue because they know you are not going to vote for their political godfather. So, and if you say no, this is my right, they now clamp down on you. Did we not see it in 2023? Now we are even afraid now whether the one of 2027 may not even be what.
Mr. Elvis, you need to hear what I have heard.
Yes.
That they've distributed weapons to certain persons to
Esther, even in their primaries that day, did you not see it? If they can do it in their primaries, then you now begin to talk of the general election where they are not going to be facing opposition. So the issue has become so decayed to the extent that we don't even know the tone the general election is going to take in 2027.
Well, another thing is to look at this. Trump recently launched a fresh wave of airstrikes, basically on Iran, on the Strait of Hormuz. Now, this is where things have gotten kind of confusing because even when that ceasefire was on for a while and we heard that fuel price ought to have, come down, our dispensing outlets here refused to do that. The Nigerian government called them out, warned them that they need to do that. The presidency also called them that they need to reduce it. In fact, they even sent some persons to monitor dispensing outlets who had not reduced it. Now there's a fresh wave. Trump is saying that the Central Command actually said they began launching a series of powerful strikes against Iran to impose heavy cost for targeting and attacking commercial shipping crew by innocent civilians in an international waterway. That's a statement made by CENTCOM. And the U.S. airstrikes is in response to Iranian attacks on the 3 commercial vessels that were transiting the Strait of Hormuz. Immediately this happened, already there was an increment, there was a spike. So by tomorrow you can hear Dangote tell us that something has increased, or by next tomorrow, despite the fact that even when it reduced, they refused to reflect it immediately. You're also hearing a situation where with that there are still calls on the Nigerian government that why should we be affected in all of this? Now beyond that, Trump recently said they were going to keenly monitor the 2027 general elections of Nigerians. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that stipulates, but they say they're paying a close attention. And in fact that they are also going to focus keenly on certain political figures, considering the synergy they recently have against ISIS, who are hibernating in Nigeria. Although some of the troops have left, but a lot of them are still with intelligence, like monitoring events in Nigeria as it stands. The lobbying is still ongoing to get the favor of the United States of America, especially with some kind of credibility on this government. And we heard the ambassador say they are working to ensure that the president meets with Mr. Donald Trump, possibly before his dispensation is over. With this happening, what do you think is going to take place?
Esther, first of all, the politics along the Strait of Hormuz that is, oscillating the price of petrol now all over the world, it has gotten to a level that we have to now begin to look at what is the intention of U.S. in Iran, and why is Iran, coming out so hard to not wanting to even soft pedal. That's the biggest question, Esther. You see, back to where we are here in Nigeria, even when it was the price got reduced, a barrel of crude oil got down to as low as $68 per barrel to $70.
Yeah.
Between last week and even till yesterday or thereabout. Did it ever affected us in Nigeria here? From $114 dollars per barrel to $100 per barrel down to 68 to 70. We never saw the changes. Our filling station, petrol station dealer refused to reduce the price. Today, we now go to hold meeting with Dangote for Nigeria to begin to talk of how to reduce fuel price. Because first of all, the country failed.
Yeah.
When they don't have a refinery of their own, we don't have anything to rely on. You can't build something on nothing. They don't have any refineries. It's okay. Even if the private sector, which we know ordinarily they are out to make profit, it is not a charitable organization. Even if they refuse to, drop their own, we have our own filling stations. Let the citizens of this country enjoy the prevailing price in the international market. Now that the price have dropped, unfortunately, we don't have refinery to cater for that. So we now got ourselves stuck and now begin to hold meeting with a private citizen on how to reduce the fuel pump price. Then fast forward to where we are talking about. You start talking about U.S. monitoring Nigeria election. Forget about it, Esther. This is an internal matter. I don't see them doing much. What you see why all this strike? You see, U.S. is coming to Nigeria to strike. U.S. is using it to defend themselves. U.S. always like to carry their defense. They said the best means of defense is to attack first. Is to want to go and attack any area they feel that there may be trouble from that region, to their own country. That's why you see U.S. is policing the whole world. If we allow these terrorists to have so much power in this country, they might from here organize and attack us one day. And again, even if they don't come to U.S. directly, they'll attack their citizens. Their citizens are everywhere. That's why you see U.S. now move around the whole world. So if anybody is believing that U.S. is going to, intervene in Nigeria general election, it's a lie. But U.S. will assist Nigeria generally to bring down the names of those who are sponsors, number one, which they believe that Nigeria government should be able to have the willpower to try and sentence as expected. But unfortunately, even the names that have come so far, how many of them have we seen that have been tried and we have heard that it's in detention? That's the political failure, political willpower Nigerian government don't have. Because these are even part of the people who dine and wine with in the corridors of government. These are people, even as the 2027 general election is coming out, these are some of the persons that are going to be sponsors of the government in power and say, okay, we want, because it benefits them.
Yeah.
So if we are relying on US to solve our problem in total, it will not work. we can only rely on them. Okay, now that they are still around, they still help us to gather intel, even though some of them have left, but I still know some of them are still alive to assist to gather. That's the best we can get from them. They cannot come and stamp their feet on their boot on ground and now begin to fight for Nigerians. They will never do that. That is the responsibility of Nigeria government. If they give at least, if Nigeria government is able to actually have the willpower to say, okay, these persons that were our sponsors, let us now begin to pick them up and try them. If these boys in the bush don't have these arms and ammunition, they don't have all this food coming to them and everything that they enjoy in the bush, Esther, they will be frustrated. A hungry man will come out. They will come out. You will see that every bullet you shoot and there is no replacement, Esther, is depleting. And once it's depleting, they are gradually getting closer to surrendering. An AK-47, if you hold it without bullets in it, ammunition inside it, it's like a walking stick.
Well, you heard what Alimode Sheriff said, and it was quite ironical for the statement he made, considering that he is accused of being a major financier of Boko Haram, and he's still an APC chairman at this point in time. I'm actually still quite surprised. We'll take a very short break, ladies and gentlemen. When we return, we'll hear a senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Femi Falana, telling us precisely who Alimode Sheriff is, and he's asking him to defend himself. He called him out and said he is a financier of Boko Haram, and exactly he actually owes Nigerians an explanation, and he says he wants to have an off with him in court if he thinks what he's saying is not the truth. Mr. Femi Fani-Kayode also made the same statement 11 years ago on a Monitor television program during an interview where he made all the statements against this man, Mr. Alimode Sheriff. Obviously, he was just appointed as the APC chairman 11 years ago, and Fani-Kayode obviously called him out on national television with this same anchor person of Channels Television. 11 years ago, this interview was had, and I was thinking this anchor person would have thrown questions at Mr. Alimode Sheriff because he was a major interviewer. He interviewed, and he got his background check when he was the one who interviewed.
No, he didn't do enough
11 years ago.
Enough research when he was bringing him back. I was expecting that question to follow.
Serious questions.
When he was talking about, this person does not have vote, he will not have vote in the north and all that. We know where he's coming from. Boko Haram got festered. In fact, came on board in this nation during his administration as governor of Borno State.
Yes, and they were part of those that imposed Sharia law.
We know when Sharia law was reigning across the northern states, and we know the role he played in this Boko Haram we have today that have given birth to ISWAP and ISIS and all of that. These are breakaway fashions of the Boko Haram now. So Boko Haram originally started when he was governor of Borno State. Today, if he is not coming out in another toga, dressed in another confusing and disappointing form to come and confuse Nigeria, deceive Nigerians that he's not his sent, he's not the one that is talking about somebody that will get vote and somebody that will not get vote. Nigerians should remind him that this present insecurity that has benefited this nation that we are now fighting today began under his watch as governor of Borno State.
It's quite unfortunate that we found ourselves here, but we're going to listen to that after this break. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. We'll be right back shortly.
A double punch of Protestant and Cambodia Queen. An effective combination that Camosunate is anti-malaria therapy. Camosunate comes in 4 different packs for different age groups. Below 1 year, 1 to 6 years, 7 to 13 years, 14 and above.
Camosunate, effective anti-malaria for all ages. Marketed by Janet Pharmaceuticals Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, please see your doctor. Read the leaflet inside.
Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Now you have a voice.
You are listening to your number one station. The Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Do not touch that dial.
House dey dark and NEPA bill dey choke. E dey worry you as e dey affect your business. So no turn don come. Imagine say you wake up for morning, light no shake, fridge don block, PC process no get wahala. Everything dey okay. No be dream o. With Yohaku, now you dey control your light. Yohaku dey sell gas cooker, freezer, fridge, and them go furnish you with modern kitchen o. Whether na inverter, batteries, panels, smart street lights, be na solar AC system wey you wan use for house, business, and for industrial work, Yohaku stand chim to help you. Bye to NEPA bill o. No wait till transformer go spoil again o. Oh yeah, run call Yohaku for 070-121-30260 or 080-324-82573, or you fit to call 080-669-60066. For Lagos, we there for shop F1179 Industrial Section, or Joe Alaba International Market, or shop G6 Electronic Section, Alaba International Market, Headline, Ute Ubochi Plaza, Abuja office na Corporate 13, Dubai International Market, back of Games Village, Karo District for Abuja. For Port Harcourt, we there for number 51, Oporo Road, Eziowa Eli Trade Center for River State. Yohaku website na www.yohakuproducts.com. Online store na www.yohakustore.com. Yohaku, from sun to earth, we dey make your mind dey cool.
To the city's #1 super dial. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM, Lagos.
My people, why you dey suffer for darkness when better solution dey? Fuel don cost, generator noise too much, but now steady light don easy. Na why Casco Electronic Company Limited dey here for you. We dey import and supply original solar product where you fit trust. Powerful inverters, dry cell batteries, tubular and lithium batteries, charge controllers, solar panels, solar fridge, solar pumping machines, solar AC, solar lights, and many more. Whether na for your house or abi na for your office, or na for your church, your shop, or your business, Casco gets quality solar solution where go save your money and give you constant power supply. No fake product, no disappointment. Na original quality at affordable prices. Run come, make you visit our head office at FL 505 beside Union Bank, Alaba International Market, Ojo, Lagos, and other offices all over Nigeria. Make you call us for the phone number 0806 198 9695 or 0902 368 4970. Casco Electronic Company Limited, powering your life with reliable solar energy.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is still the evening rush right here on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Please let's take a listen to this.
God is very important. Who started the Boko Haram crisis in Borno State? A governor, Muhammadu Ali Sharif, addressed the press 2 days ago. And attempted to insult the collective intelligence and memory of Nigerians by denying any links with the dangerous, dreaded Boko Haram sect. I did reply him yesterday, and I'm expecting him to sue me, because he said he wanted to sue an Australian. You don't need to go to Australia. What you are looking for in Sokoto is in the pocket of your Sokoto. I'm ready to join issues with him, because not only did he sponsor that organization by providing funds for them, in 2003, he had a deal with the Boko Haram sect to get him to win the election. And if he won his re-election, he will compensate the organization. When he won that election, he appointed Alhaji Bugu Foy as the Commissioner for Religious Affairs to implement Sharia in that state. When the man attended the first Executive Council meeting,
he discovered that they were all talking about contracts and how to steal money. So he went back to the camp, the Boko Haram camp, and said, where you send me to is Gida Barawi, the house of thieves. I can no longer be part of them. So he was asked to resign. And that was how Foy resigned from the government of Mutu Sharif. So to say that you don't know them is the greatest lie. I was just reminded this morning by somebody from Borno State that something was missing in my press statement. That in 2013, 2012, October 10, Alhaji Mutu Sharif was arrested in Cameroon on grounds of his Boko Haram connection. But the government here pleaded with the Cameroonian authorities to release him. Because he's a big man here, he cannot be arrested. So when you are looking for the sponsors of Boko Haram, I think we now know where they are.
Let's take a listen
Lincoln's
to
in this country. And I think we should stop being scared of speaking the truth and saying it as it is. Now, if I may, I will tell you the basis under which I am saying this. I don't say it's based on rumor. I don't say it for fun. And I don't take pleasure in saying it. Because this is somebody I have known for many, many years, since we were both in the NRC in the early 90s. And I have nothing personal against him. But I must tell you that if he wants to convince the world that he has nothing to do with Boko Haram, then let him explain his relationship with Muhammad Yusuf, the man who started Boko Haram and who was murdered in mysterious circumstances by the police. Let him tell us how it was or who it was that he was using as his local thugs whilst he was governor of Borno State, two-time governor, who his local thugs were, who led those local thugs, and let him tell us that it wasn't Muhammad Yusuf that actually led them and that he wasn't funding and organizing them. Let him tell us who asked Yaradua to send in the soldiers and kill as many people as possible of the Boko Haram group simply because he was tired of them and he was fed up with giving them money. Let him tell us how it is that he appointed as Commissioner for Religious Affairs an individual by the name of Buju Foy or something like that. And this man was the person that was giving those boys money and keeping them happy. And let him finally tell us under what circumstances Buju Foy was killed after the investigations began, and the likelihood is that he would have given evidence as to the fact that he had been used to fund and support these boys whilst they were operating at the local level. Now, at this time, they were operating at the local level. What happened was there was a big fallout, as there always is, between gangsters and people like that. If you watch the film The Godfather...
All right, Chief.
Well, let me answer the latter part of the question. This is common knowledge. What I'm saying is common knowledge. And it was not appropriate for me to voice such things out up until the time that I felt it was appropriate, because you are telling me that this man is now our party national chairman. We need to have a sensible, serious person to run the affairs of our party. And honestly, I couldn't care who it was. But one thing I will not do is associate myself with a political party that has a man with such antecedents behind him. So that's the first aspect. Now, the second aspect is this. I am asserting, and I'm saying it again, that the way Boko Haram started, he had a hand in it. He funded them at the local level. He was using them as his personal thugs until the time that Muhammad Yusuf was arrested. When Muhammad Yusuf was arrested and was under interrogation, somebody killed him. Somebody gave that order so that he wouldn't expose so much. The next thing that happened, a couple of years later, his own commissioner, who had been briefed and who had, for a number of years, been funding these boys, was also interrogated. He too was killed under mysterious circumstances, and so on and so forth. And what then happened was that they turned on him and held him responsible for the death of their leader and for the death of the commission of his own commissioner, because they believed, rightly or wrongly, that he wanted to cover certain things up. Now that's the history of it. I have a very good friend who is now a governor in Kaduna State. He told me something a number of years ago. And he told me that, look, if we wanted to solve the problem of Boko Haram, all we needed to do was ensure that justice was done, and those that ordered the killing of Muhammad Yusuf and a number of other people to cover up their own antecedents should be brought to book, arrested, prosecuted, and jailed. We didn't do that. And these boys went to the streets, started killing everybody until an international dimension entered it. The whole thing was hijacked by Al-Qaeda, ISIL, and of course some local politicians in Nigeria, and it became the monster that we have today. So to divorce him from the Boko Haram insurgency and say he had nothing to do with it is absolute rubbish.
All right, Chief Fanigade, tell me.
Now, this is Tiffany Carade 11 years ago by the same anchor person, and I really, really was expecting him to actually bring, bring this most of the historical context of the conversations we're having right now. This particular media organization has. Maybe I know it's been a very long time ago, but I really wish sometimes they could go back to the archives whenever they invite some of these guests on what they had said in the past and a related, do a proper check on the related issue, focusing us because you invited this man and you ought to have played these clips so that he knows what he's saying. But the unfortunate thing here is this: when they ask this man a question as to are we going to call you an aiding and an abettor of terrorism because you have never come out to call out the militia that are killing people, would we say you are also a terrorist sympathizer? And he says his case is different because he's not contesting elections for presidency. He's not a presidential candidate.
He just answered it because that is political answer. That's not what we're talking about. Even as we speak, do you know the number of persons that are in captivity in his state? So it's not contesting for. We're not even talking about presidency now. We're talking about these are supposed to be your brothers and sisters.
No, he's saying that it's a different matter. It's not relevant because he's not contesting when he made his statement against Mr. Peter Obi. So have you not already divided Nigeria by your own antics?
Yes, we're talking about insecurity that has traversed the whole length and breadth of this nation. We are not talking about division, not talking about because you are not contesting. We are not looking at the candidate now. We are looking at how do we get this nation out of this stronghold.
And the Nigerian government could not investigate this man. This man came on that television station as an APC chieftain, a foundational member of the APC. So you're having terrorist sponsors and sympathizers within the All Progressives Congress.
A Nigeria government that cannot prosecute Gumi. Is it the one you are talking about, Ali Modi Sharif? Gumi that is everywhere like a campaign manager for Boko Haram and insurgency in this nation. That's when we start talking about the government is culpable at all time. That's what we are talking about. We are not saying that the government, President carry gun and be kidnapping people. But when you sit at that big office and you cannot call all your security paraphernalia and say this person has spoken so dangerously about what we are going through, go and pick him, let him come and tell Nigerians how much he knows about what we are going through in this nation. That's what we are talking about. We are not saying he should wear khaki and go to the war front, but his office is bigger than wearing khaki, because whatever he says in that office, he has all the military paraphernalia that he has appointed that will do exactly his bidding, whatever pronouncement he makes to them. He owns the chief of defense staff, he owns the DSS, he owns the IG of police and every other. So why have you not given them the order? Why have you not let them know that, see, my government is getting so uncomfortable, and even before the international community of the world, we are now beginning to be rendered as if we are clueless. Let's now begin to talk of how to gain back this name. Make that statement in your office. And back it up with action, that whenever you send any message, you follow it up. He went to Jos and said that was going to be the end of the killing in Jos, Esther.
Yeah.
2 days after he left Jos, what happened? To where we are talking now. You see the one that just happened 2 days ago in the same Jos.
In the same Jos.
So when you now see that even the body language of the president is like he's supporting it, because this same president went to Jos, he didn't even visit where this matter happened. He didn't even went to see some of those ones that are the survivors that are in the hospital, or even visit the location. He said, go and bring them to the airport. I have only 5 minutes, I'll be 10 minutes to stay, because there is no light in Jos airport. Before you started making arrangement for the president to go to Jos, you don't know that some of these things also to be put in place. So this body language shows that the government is not serious in fighting this terrorism, and they are not concerned about the plight Nigerians are going through. That's why we are saying all the time that they are culpable. It's not just because of because of what the level it has ravaged. It's because the way they have handled it. If you have handled this matter very well, from the north it has now spilled into the south, and look at where we are.
I mean, the Oyo children
nobody
are still in captivity up till now.
Almost 2 months now. It's going to 2 months.
It's crazy.
Nobody thought when it happened. So no communication. There's nobody's everybody's confused. The governor has come to say the president had not even called him since.
Yeah.
I mean, even
the governor is saying that the president hadn't called, and there are talks that is politically inclined because of some statements. Even in Osun State, Adeleke is complaining that for almost 18 months he's not been given, is it 8 months? No funding has been allocated to him.
I know it has issue with local government funding. I don't know.
Yes, it says that it has not been given any money. And there were talks that when the president was a governor, when the federal government decided not to,
the same local government,
the same local government situation, he won at the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court, his money was reimbursed. Why would you still be the same person to hear this kind of thing, and you're not activating the process of the money is being released?
That is why we are talking about they brought politics into governance, Esther. Remember that if this money is released, it's going to ameliorate the life of the citizens of that state.
But that should be the concern now, because you were once a victim of some, and now you are becoming the same thing you fought against.
Politicking with people's life. That's why we are saying this. Makinde is saying the president has not called him. He just suddenly forgot the role he played in bringing him into power into 2022-2023. This is the same person that they all gang together and say, the G5, that he must become president at all costs. Look at the payback now. So whatever you are preparing today that you think you are benefiting from it, Esther, it will boomerang tomorrow, and you will now begin the one that will be crying foul. So I'm not sympathizing with Makinde. I'm only sympathizing with those innocent children that are in captivity, the teachers and the parents and even the region of your citizens, because even the Oyo state itself, if you take a closer look, there are still some people who are in support of this, what is going on in Oyo state. Look at the day VDM came to Oyo state to meet Governor Makinde. When he got to the street, some other people were attacking VDM.
Yes, they came with clubs and machete.
You cannot imagine. So those ones are celebrating that their own citizens are in captivity. Somebody who came to remind the governor, what are you doing about this? This is an aberration. Look at the number. At that time, it was not even up to this number of days. Now we are counting. Now we are going closer to 2 months now. So people attack them.
Mr. Elvis, how do we liberate Nigerians from this captivity? Some Nigerians are deliberately in that captivity, while some are in it, but they don't know how to get out of it. How do we liberate their mental, emotional, and psychological state from this slavery? I call it slavery. You know why? These guys, these politicians, they use their slaves as a tool to perpetuate their own interest. These guys hobnob together, they eat together, they wine together. Do you know the kind of meetings they have? Do you know the funny thing? A lot of those persons who don't like to be seen in the open with Mr. Peter Obi and the likes, who call themselves opposition, do you see when they go meet him? You just see where he sees some of them, where they meet. When they secretly come to meet him, some of them will come, apologize, we're sorry and everything, but they don't want to be associated with him in public. These are persons you would say, oh, maybe you think they're enemies or they don't like him publicly. They meet him secretly. So what is the meaning of this? While politicians are hobnobbing, celebrating, partying together, the other day I think somebody's birthday was being celebrated where Chief Olusegun Obasanjo was there, the governor of Lagos State was there, and he and Peter Obi, they hugged, they greeted every one of them. So why do some Nigerians decide to become slaves? Is it poverty? I want to understand. Is it illiteracy, no access to proper education? What exactly is the problem?
Some of these Nigerians are very educated, Esther. Most of the things you are seeing, Esther, is greed.
Oh no, even the educated ones, yes. PhD holders, some of them are in diaspora.
Yes.
And they're enabling this nonsense.
Yes, it's greed. It's just mere greed. Some of them want to be aligned with whatever is coming from that federal government of Nigeria, because you see, Nigeria politicians or whoever, all these psychophants, no matter the wealth they have, they don't see it as anything. They want to continue to multiply it daily. That's why you see somebody will be talking of 10 billion. Ideally, how many years do you have on earth to even spend 2 billion? How many years? So these people are no longer, they've already destroyed their generation. They're destroying the generation after them. Because children you keep 10 billion for, they will not make a good living in life. Because these are the children that will now begin to test all manner of things. Before you know, they go into drug and they become addicts. So everything you are seeing, 100% of it is greed. Another thing that they have already succeeded in, apart from dividing us on ethnicity and all of that, is because if they don't do it this way, we'll be able to capture them. They now brought in poverty. So those at the top, want to continuously remain at that top. So those at the middle has been eroded. So the one at the down want to survive at all costs. Because of their fighting after their survival, they don't even remember every other thing that they are going through as
they don't have any modicum of sanity.
Sanity has completely been taken off from them.
It's quite unfortunate.
That dichotomy between the rich, those at the top, and the one completely below that is completely eroded is an issue. Sometimes when you are too poor, you look like an insane person.
Another thing is lack of exposure. It's so sad. A lot of Nigerians have not even gotten out. They've not stepped out of Lagos State.
No. It's common with some tribe in this nation. You know, there are some region in this nation that they only
just
rotate around their own enclaves. And when they are talking, they talk because that is the only experience they have. When they see another Nigerian from another place, they see you are like an intruder. Why are you here? Another. So what you are seeing today in South Africa, that South Africa are driving Nigeria. There are even some Nigerians that are also driving Nigerians within Nigeria here and say, leave our own land.
Yeah.
So it's the South Africa own that we are celebrating that has become news now. We saw this in 2023 general election. We heard statement people made.
Was it this bad in 2023?
I
don't think it was. Was it as acidic as this?
No, it was already acidic because we saw even physical attack on polling booths. Did you not see people that were attacked on polling booths? It was already acidic. What we are seeing now is that it's building more. That's why I told you earlier when we began this show that we don't even know the toga this 2027 general election is going to take. If Obi is saying he's afraid of his life, Obi, he has to be afraid of his life. Because these politicians don't believe that there will be somebody that will come and make a difference. And because they don't want their own activities that this decade have brought into the station to be exposed, that there can actually be a good government, anybody that is nursing that idea of bringing good governance into this nation is a threat to them. And that person's life must in any form they can frustrate him or even, eradicate that kind of person. They can do it.
Especially when it comes to profligacy, the spending, the diversion of funds.
That profligacy is one of the best characteristics of this government. Because one would have expected that when you came in and said fuel subsidy is gone, which means you are saying there is no money to pay subsidy, which Nigerians have been benefiting from. If I don't have money to pay subsidy, you have brought more hardship to Nigerians. Yes, understood. Then I will also tell Nigerians, come, that lifestyle they live in Aso Rock, where everybody is like, oh, once you get in there, you are now a master. I will not live that same life. I will not live that life. I want to be at the same level with you because I know the hardship the removal of fuel subsidy is going to bring on every household in this nation. But what did we see, Esther? We saw I want to change my aircraft. We saw I want to buy yacht. I want to saw the renovation of even the barracks that he never stays and even the vice president's house. We saw all those ones. So when you
mean Dodan Barracks?
Yes.
He stays there when he comes to Lagos. That's why he stays.
How many hours? He goes there to go and do for Jumat service.
Yeah, but he stays there. The security there is very tight.
Where I know he has. I see videos of his resident anytime he's around that he now turned to Mecca of sorts, where all the politicians in Nigeria go to visit him. But even at that, Esther, there are some ways you have to carry the people along. People will believe that what we're also suffering, the president is also, bearing, going along the same issues with us. We now started seeing the bloated cabinet, over bloated cabinet. That led to the one that even some now today we don't even know the number of ministry, departments and agencies we have in this nation. There are now even ghost agencies the same way we have ghost workers.
We're going to look into that. We're going to look into some agencies that have not been talked about, and we're going to call those agencies out. And I suspect those agencies are agencies that are meant to siphon money. I am also doing my own investigation because we need to begin to call out these things. It's imperative. I think this particular situation with the PFICPC or something, it created, it raised dust, and it really set an adventure of curiosity where we're now looking into all these agencies, their proposals, and what they were meant to do. It's really disheartening because there are complaints about budget delays, money is not appropriated. That was one of the reasons why they were summoning, if they could summon the president to the house, because they said a lot of projects and monies are, and even the 2025 budget has not even been looked into.
2024, 2025, and 2026. We don't even know the one the government is talking. Esther, by this time last week, Wednesday, we were talking about this. This story just broke. This fake agency.
Yes.
We discussed it here last week, Wednesday, And we said, okay, the government should beam more searchlight into it so that Nigeria will actually know where the truth is coming from. Since that Wednesday last week till now, has there been any change?
Today there was a rowdy session in the House over that, and then later they said they would not investigate it. Obviously, you heard what the president said about it, but the president said that he's giving ICPC 30 days to give him a report on that.
Why
but one of the issues, yes, exactly.
Why 30 days?
And meanwhile, Bayo Onanuga already responded. So it means that first statement of Bayo Onanuga was indeed from the president. If this is what the president is saying now about this matter, Mr. Ogunjimi is directing all federal ministries, departments, and agencies to immediately stop processing payments for constituency and zonal intervention projects unless the Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs has formally vetted them, because they are urging the House to summon the president to address lawmakers on the delay in implementing the 2025 budget. They have not implemented the 2025 budget, noting that the circular would further hamper the execution of the Appropriation Act. Another senator, Mascot, is raising concerns over the pace of budget execution and the impact of funding delays on government operations. These proposals sparked sharp divisions amongst the lawmakers today. You are now having individuals use their personal funds to develop their community projects already that have been earmarked by the federal government, monies that supposedly said had been allocated to it, but you're having bureaucratic bottlenecks for no explanation, no reason. At this dispensation, at this time,
and remember that by next 2 months, in September, another budget of 2027 would have be prepared, because budget preparation starts as from September. Then by November, December, it's supposed to be in the House for them to look into. And remember, this year's budget is going to be humongous, because part of the election budget is going to be built into this. Remember, INEC is asking for 800 and something billion for them to prosecute this election.
Remember that 1 trillion naira has already been given to INEC. Do you recall that?
So you cannot imagine how all these things are being muddled up, and you are telling Nigerians, tighten your bet. And we are seeing where all these monies are flying left, right, center into. We are hearing, to the extent that agency is being opened, established for some people to now begin to bring return. Is it not annoying? It's annoying.
Mr. Elvis, well, I think it's in the hands of Nigerians to decide what they want.
No, it's Nigerians. So I keep saying it. The politicians will never change. It is only Nigerians that will change towards the politicians, so that politicians will now know that at least Nigerians are no longer friendly with them. That's when these changes can begin to come in. They will never change, because we have already started seeing them now graduating from their exams to their children. That's to tell you that as they are living, they are already putting in their children. Do you know how many of their children are already in the National Assembly and even in the local assemblies as we speak? So they will never change. And that's to tell Nigerians that even as they make this generation poor, they are also planning to make the next generation, that generation of our children and our grandchildren, to also be poor too. Except we have to tell them enough is enough. We've gotten to our bus stop where we can no longer tolerate this. That's when we cannot begin to see change. If you are waiting for politicians to change, we are wasting time.
All right, Mr. Elvis. Finally, before we open the phone lines, Peter Obi is asking the president to go home and rest. He says he's tired. He needs to go home and rest, suggesting that the president is old, he's tired, he obviously can't handle issues, and he needs to go home and rest in 2027. This was obviously in the same interview where he made a statement about his life. And he said that Tinubu's administration has sent millions of Nigerians into poverty, and insecurity has been increased across the country. He further questioned the basis for Tinubu's second term re-election bid, stressing that failure cannot be renewed. In other words, it's renewed failure. He maintained that he's not desperate for power, but wants Nigeria to work, adding that some Nigerians who were doing well in business when Tinubu assumed power in 2023 have now resorted to selling kuli. My colleague here
I'm frying a
my colleague here, he works in the TV. He used to work in construction. Very good. Like, they were really having businesses. Brother traveled to the US. He was here managing the business. When the president came on board in 2023, business closed off. Guy now remember that, I used to do broadcasting. So let me go back to that.
Yeah. Because the juicy contract we have in these nations today that are running 2 trillion is in the hand of one person.
Oh, more bad gone.
And that's the family business of the president. So where do you now put others? Even the big construction company we ever had in this nation before now, they're not even getting the contracts. So now all the super highways, all the super bridges and all others is now in the hand of the family's business, president's family business, high tech,
and there are
Group.
serious scammers all over the place now.
Yes. Yes.
hoodwinking people and collecting their monies. I'm going to be bringing somebody here on Friday who's going to give us our own experience. She reached out to me yesterday, and we need to start calling out all those people. We will do our best. Please, if you're watching us right now on YouTube at VOP 903 FM, we need contract to Mr. Elvis. How do we create an agency so we can see who can reach to help us put it in effect?
But you know the name of the person that has been mentioned, and that's that created this one, that assisted to create
Mr. Elvis, you don't
reach out to the person now.
No, Mr. Elvis, now you know say you get contact.
Not be contact. This one, you are a beautiful girl. By the
What?
time he sees you now,
No, we need to present a credible proposal.
Propose. You know how many of my proposals that are in ministries that are not being attended to?
No, let's try one very good
let's
one.
Look at it that when they see a beautiful face like you, they'll say whether the proposal fly or not. This face, come. What do you need?
Mr. Elvis, beautiful face. Hey, the injury where person go through. I don't get power. But seriously, VOP 90.3 FM, please give us contracts. We need contracts for a good cause. Honestly, we write proposals. Mr. Elvis, let's write proposals. We do a lot actually here, and we actually need you to involve us in your contracts. If you're doing those diversion of monies or whatever, do it in a good cause. We can help people get jobs. We can help people who are ill. We can visit homes, enable Nigerians in any capacity. So we need that contract. We need it for real. We're open to business.
To Nigerians' lives.
Do you understand? In as much as for our efforts, we get our own cuts because we are hungry. We need money. But it's not a joke, honestly speaking. Ladies and gentlemen, what's that thing? Ogbana Feli.
Yes, so.
Oh, heart's gone.
Yeah. Now we did so.
We did. Good sniff and they hey, voila today bye. All right, let's take your reaction, ladies and gentlemen. The number to call is 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. The WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. 0817-1756-338. That's the WhatsApp number to send your messages to. Okay, we have our first caller on WhatsApp. Hello, sir. Good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Esther Wanyoma.
Ola Obimo. Is this Ola?
Yeah.
Welcome. How was the day?
Fine. But the weather has been really cold.
The weather is good. Don't complain, we need it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, please go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Elvis.
Yeah, good evening, Ola. How are you doing today?
My favorite analyst.
God bless you, sir.
UOP.
Thank you, sir.
What I want to say, just quick one. Sheyi Makinde, I don't know why he's playing politics with the lives of those kidnapped victims. Are you expecting the president to call you first, or immediately the incident happened, you meant to inform the president first that this is what we've done? We've probably deployed a Moteku or whatever. I think they lost one a Moteku person out there.
Yes.
So I think he would have call the president or even go to Asuro and tell him.
Does he have to? Is it not in the news? The president has been briefed. There's supposed to be no protocol. Yes. The president is supposed to call immediately. Don't you get?
Yes, I understand. Yes, I know, but they're playing politics because I know actually I started from when they disagree on Makinde APC. That's been the issue. So and Bola Tinubu, the president felt, was my business and I don't want to join us. Okay.
And that's the thing, it's not meant that sentiment is not meant to be applied here.
Yes, it's not meant to be. Yes. But we know, yes, I understand. I know that's the issue, but they are not meant to be playing politics with the lives of these people. And that's what I want to say. Thank you very much.
All right, Ola, thank you so much for calling. 080-3692-9933. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Esther.
How are you doing now?
I'm fine. Sunday calling from Mushin.
Sunday, how is Mushin today?
My dear, it's raining.
Yes, so it's raining true.
Very heavily down here.
Hey, yeah, Pele, sorry.
Thank you. I greet your guests.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, brother. In fact, you have been wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
You see, you have said a lot of it, but the fact is this. In fact, we need to pray now. Now Obi is being discouraged somehow. We need to pray earnestly for the young man, so that God himself will protect him. Because if a man could open his mouth and tell you that he's afraid of what is in ahead, something is wrong somewhere. So we need to pray for him. That is one. In fact, we don't need to talk about this government again, because all of us have come to understand very well that we don't have a good government. Either we like it or not. We have known that we have party government, stealing government. Carry go as you can carry. Grab them, carry them, go. Now they rule us. So, and with all these things, we are not making any headway. So, okay, look at the children who went and passed out something. So look at the way they have been treated. So the fact is that we don't have a good government. We don't have a good foundation. As long as I'm concerned in this APC government, we don't have a good government. So my prayer is that God will protect Obi. Let him stand firm. With God, all things are possible. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. You won't say that God should protect the president. I mean, he's also coming for 2027, Mr. Elvis.
Yeah, he's coming.
And
he has already been. His party has given him a ticket. But it's there for Nigerians to actually say whether they are going to continue with him.
And I was telling him that he did not pray for the president. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Queen Esther. How are you?
I am fine, sir. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Elvis.
Good evening, sir.
Well done. You are doing a great job.
Thank you, sir.
This is Mayor from Festac.
Mayor, welcome.
Thank you, Esther. You see, this thing this report about the Excellency Mr. Tinubu is another dangerous dimension that Nigerians should not keep quiet. This issue should be escalated even to any level, because the way is going now, which means only this man has been suffering inside, which some people know anyway, about intimidation, threat to his life and all that. And it will start when he was attacked in Guinea and all that. In his businesses, we have been hearing reports. But this is not an OB fight for Nigerians. It will be by the grace of God, upon God's grace upon his life, can live for 100 years and still be comfortable. But because what God has blessed him. This fight is not for him. Nigerians should wake up by any means possible and fight to make sure that we chase this APC government out of the victory. Because if they stay a minute or an hour longer in that seat in 2027, well, we don't know what the outcome will be like, but I'm very, very sure that it is not going to be palatable. So we should get our PVCs, if possible, get our what we call Ogbongo, this just stick. Let everybody arm himself if he survives. Let everybody come out and make sure that we defend our food. Because the worst thing that can happen to Nigerians is for this government to come back. With what we are seeing now, it's not about God forbid. So this is not a big fight. So let nothing happen to this man and let God guide him. But Nigerians should fight and get out, because this country is not owned by one man. It's not owned by the president. Nigeria has been in the system even before all of them came around. Nigeria started long ago, and it will not end in their time. That is my listing. People should fight and recover our country. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mayor, for calling. 08036929933. Hello, good evening.
Can you hear me, Esther?
Yes, I can hear you now. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Malik speaking.
Malik.
To the gentleman in the studio.
Good evening, sir.
Malik, baby.
Esther, what a killing one. Esther.
Sir? Sir?
Esther.
Yes, so you guys, Barrister Darlington has delivered, but don't worry, I'll tell you guys tomorrow.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Esther, to the man in the studio, good evening, please.
Good evening, sir.
Esther, let me tell you the gist of our problem. It's Obasanjo. It's Obasanjo. But people don't believe. He started these political things. He allowed to manifest, and now he's hitting us hard. If a father does not curtail his children when they are growing up and they becomes 3, can you bend them again? And you? When Obasanjo made Alumo the sheriff to win the election in Zapara, in what's it called again?
Borno State.
Borno State. Against the other candidates. He did not know what he was doing. When Fani Fayakayode was in PDP before he defected, they don't know him. Most of the big whips of APC were in PDP. It's not the same politics they're playing now. There is no difference in soup sour. You got.
Hello? Hello, Malik. The call don't go off. Pele. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Esther.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mao.
Welcome.
All right. There is this Ifeanyi calling from Ejigbo.
Mr. Ifeanyi, welcome. And I on him sake win STEM Olympiad.
That every Ifeanyi is intelligent.
No bidokwa. They don't start now.
Every Ifeanyi is intelligent. And they are always godly.
Well done.
There is almost nothing to say again about this country called Nigeria. But then, sometimes it hurts me when I hear that Nigeria will not get better again. As annoying as that statement is, but when you check it, it looks as if it's true. It is only in this country that it looks as the power of the citizens is lost. Right? Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
It is in this country that you see a NEPA officials and everybody is agitated about them. Look at last month and you are afraid, you are frightened as a citizen. And then the person you know, once he wear uniform, he become Lord. We are, in fact, this country, if we don't stand up and we are waiting for the election, the kind of election that we had 2023, anybody who believes that the result of that election is what we are seeing is living in delusion. And then anybody who believes that this set of politicians will contest election for Nigeria, his mindset should be checking. Frankly speaking, see, when
Hello?
27.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
When I hear people talk about come 2027, who is to monitor the election? And they will tell you, protect your vote. What happened to the INEC? Who will I should protect my vote against people that they have armed? Both the police and the thugs has been. If Nigeria don't stand up before they are said election, in fact, the kind of election the kind of selection, the kind of thuggery, the kind of thing that Nigeria will witness, we are enslaved. But I believe that something could happen before the said 2027. If it is in a same country as they used to say, which is unfortunate truth, it means that Nigeria is not a same country. If it's in the same country, what is happening now? People will be protesting away on the streets. But look at the president coming today to say that he has confidence in his chief of staff. It's unfortunate. May God save Nigeria.
Amen. 0036929933. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, Shola. How are you today?
I'm fine. We thank God. It's raining.
Yeah, it's raining.
We thank God. May I greet your guest, Mr. Harris. Well done, sir.
Good evening, Shola. Welcome.
Esther.
Sir?
Continue from where the last caller talked. If you notice the way I speak now, my mindset, I always have a question. Are Nigerians ready?
Yeah, that's true.
Why am I saying this? Because I don't, for me, out of 100%, I feel Nigeria is just on maybe like 10%. We still have like 90% to go. Why am I saying this? We are so divided. And that is what this political elites want. The trend for some time now, and it got worse under this present president, is that they are politically shrewd. Their mind is so hardened. And in whatever way you can get the power, just get it. He said it when he came in, grab it, snatch it, and they are throwing it to our face. So, when Obi speaks, I've been having pity for Obi, and I think it's Ola that used to say that thing that Obi, there's something he used to say about Obi, that Obi should not kill himself, that he's not the Messiah. It's true. Obi should take it easy. He should not kill himself for this country. Awolowo has said it. You see, when we are ready, it is the people that we fight for the good people to take over government. Because people like Obi is soft-hearted. Obi has a good heart. People like Jonathan, look at Oshibajo. People that can do it. The system is shutting them out because we have evil people in government. I don't know, maybe you get what I'm saying. Now, the followers are making matters worse. You understand? Because even among the followers, we have people of sentiment. Religious, tribal, greedy people, like Mr. Ellis mentioned. Greedy, selfish. So, I want to say something that really breaks my heart extra. Please permit me. Do you know that even on social media, when you just make a simple statement, you will see the other tribe, they will just deviate and start, because you are of another tribe.
I swear, man, I'm tired. Like, there was a time I wanted to contribute to an intelligent conversation, and I loved the trail of the conversation. Somebody just responded and asked, "What state are you from?" I couldn't say my state.
In fact, the way they will just change it, so the hatred between the tribes is so strong, you can feel, you can touch it. So until we break that yoke, we are not going anywhere. And what I see this coming election, they have said it. He said they will not hand over to opposition. What happened in 2023 will be a child's play. It's the people that will determine. Take it or leave it.
You're right, Shola. It's true. It's true. I heard something that they distributed weapons. Like, no kidding. I heard. I heard, but I just hope that it doesn't have to be bloody. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. Are you hearing me?
Yes, finally. You've been calling and I can't hear you when I pick your call. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I hope I'm live on the show.
Yes, you're live on the show. What's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
Well, my name is Henry. I'm calling from United Kingdom.
All right, Henry, please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to appreciate you guys for the wonderful work you're doing. I've been following this program. I think I discovered it a few weeks ago, and I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me diverge into the topic of the day. I know it's a diverse topic. Honestly, we in diaspora, we're not happy what is happening in Nigeria. To be honest, I can tell you that we're not happy staying here. If Nigeria was to be good tomorrow, everyone would like to come back. And would like to make investment. To be honest, I have so many investment I would have loved to make, but my wife keeps saying, "Don't do it yet because we don't know." If you make investment without security, who is going to enjoy the investment you're making?
Where do you want to make this investment? Where do you want to make it?
To be honest, I want to make it. I have properties in Abuja.
Okay.
But I'm scared of developing them because of when the government sees you that you're against them, they just demolish whatever. So I'm trying to focus my attention to the east. At least in Abia State, where we have constant electricity. Right. To be honest, the problem of Nigeria, I don't know where to come from, how to start. And then this present generation, like the youth of today, the Gen Zs, they can't take Nigeria anywhere. In the 60s or 50s, someone who is 35 years was still in the army, ruling, trying to make Nigeria better. But today you can see psychopaths, people who don't even have 2 square meals a day, defending the government. Peter B, I watched his interview with Chude, and he was talking about his life being threatened. I can tell you that when I was in Abuja before I left Nigeria, there is this supermarket called Nest Cash and Carry.
Yeah.
Because I heard he's affiliated to his family or his brother, right? What did they do? The government of Buhari then, I don't know what they do, but I'm telling you this, people can say it's an allegation, but when they said a child dies, I think a wheat cries and the child dies, something must be behind it. I don't know if I got that adage correctly. They have been targeting this man's business. I'm telling you for a fact. They have been targeting his business. Look at what they did to his brother in Lagos. The Lagos state government demolished his brother's business. And you want people like us to come and invest. No one is going to do that. No one is going to do that. Peter Obi won that election in 2023, whether anyone likes it or not. Because people voted and we saw what happened. See, today, nobody has spoken about the glitch that happened in that process. And it's not fair. I'm even, when I watch your show on YouTube live, I said, voice of the people. You have the guts, like you still have the boldness to still speak like this. How many radio stations will speak like this? Kudos to you guys. You guys, if we have a way to support you guys, we'll do that. Because how many radio stations in Nigeria can boldly stay and support the people? Even the journalists have been compromised. Most of them. It's what they say. In the broad daylight, people know what is happening. You know the terrorist financiers. Ali Modi Sharif was the founder. In fact, he created Boko Haram. What is happening? What is Tinubu doing? Is Tinubu telling me that he doesn't know the sponsors of Boko Haram? At Tinubu's age, to be honest, once you cross 70 years or 75, you should try to live a good life, live a good legacy, because you're nearing your grave. All this money he's trying to amass for himself. What is it? Where is Buhari today?
I don't even think it's money. I think it's just the power, the access to certain vital information, connection. It's not necessarily money. He has a lot of money.
Yeah, but why is he trying to suffer the people? People are suffering in abroad here. I'm telling you, to be honest. Oh my God, what the president can afford, you can afford it. I'm telling you, because they make everything easy. This iPhone 17 that people are killing themselves in Nigeria, basic amenities, they make loans available for you that you can buy it. I can buy 10. I'll just pay the money within maybe 2 years. They'll start deducting the money from your salary.
My brother's office, they give them like iPhones, like the latest iPhones. They give it to them to like test it. Then their interns who come, they give them free phones and free laptops.
I am telling you, I schooled here and they give you, what is the basic amenities? What I'm eating here, like when my wife, because I married, I brought her here and I said, well, I told you this place. She didn't like abroad. When she came, she doesn't even want to go back. They make life easy for you. You can buy, let me tell you, I know people keep saying that when you are in abroad, that life here is expensive, they just lie. No matter how expensive life here, you can be able to feed yourself, pay your rent. You make a lot of money. For instance, you can imagine someone, a cleaner, will be making in a month, if you convert it to Nigerian money, will be making about 2 million. What is wrong with Nigeria? We have the oil, we have everything, and these people are bent on killing. Even the devil is a saint to what the Nigerian government are doing to us. You remove subsidy, yet the fuel has gone up. People can't even afford, and you have people in Nigeria singing the praises of Tinubu. I don't understand it. Call a spade a spade. Although the uprising in Nigeria now is the order of the day, although the uprising, and it's true, you have people, they don't even focus on education. Look at what Alex Onya did, bringing also this student without government involvement. The government, they don't even care about education. What they care about,
they don't. And it's not just that school. There was also another school that sent 16 students. It's the school that sponsored them.
See, let me tell you something. Let me give you my experience. I served in Taraba State.
Okay.
I'm from the southeast, right? I served in Taraba State. And when I was posted to Taraba State, and some people were telling me, well, why can't you work it and go to Abuja? I said, no, I've lived in Abuja all my life. I need to see what is happening in other states to have experience. A traveler is wiser than an old man. Let me tell you where I served in Taraba State. It's called Bambopuri. In a village I've never heard about. Do you know there is no road that place?
Wow.
Just nothing. What I'm telling you, when I went to that village, I said,
hello? Oh wow, I've lost him. He's actually taking quite a lot of time. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Fine.
Welcome. What's your name?
My name is Gabriel.
Your name is?
Gabriel.
Can you turn down the volume of your radio? You're really echoing.
Trying to do that.
Hello? Have you done that? Hello?
Yes, I've done that.
Yes, welcome. You say you're calling from where? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It seems you can't hear me. You said you're calling from where?
From Egbeda. Hello, are you hearing me?
You say you're calling from where, sir?
Egbeda.
Egbeda. Okay. All right, sir. Please go ahead.
For Amadou Sharif, we know his antecedents.
Mm.
Yes. For Fani Kayode himself, we know his antecedents. We know all those people that are sponsoring Boko Haram. From Issa Pantamin, we know him. He's
Former
he's
National Communication Officer, yeah.
Exactly, he's one of them.
Minister, rather.
Yes, he's one of them. You know all these Yerima people, and I need to wonder why the president is not doing something about all these things. Why? People are being killed. People are being butchered. Just look at that man that died, that teacher that died.
Mm.
People have not, in fact, like the last 2 or 3 callers have said, people have not come out. They need to come out. We need to come out. We need to rescue Nigeria. I mean, just look at that man's eyes when they were butchering him. Look at the tears coming out of his eyes, and people kept quiet. And people are telling me to go and, people are giving SUV cars. And people are telling me to go and give my wife fully to start business with. Does it make sense? All these things don't make sense. Now, I'm telling Nigerians, go and get your PVC. Whether we like it or not, we must come out. If Nepal needs to happen to Nigeria, let it happen. If everybody needs to die, let us all die. That is my own with Nigeria. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for calling. All right. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. Esther.
Good evening, sir. How are you? What's your name?
My name is Engineer Ola.
Engineer Ola, are you okay? You sound dull.
Esther.
Hello?
Why won't I sound dull? I've been following you and Mr. Elvis.
Good evening, sir.
With
Sorry.
all the analysis that you people are making, why won't I sound dull? You know, there was a time I asked you, I asked you the other day when Barrister Daitim was around.
Yeah.
I asked you, I said, you know, we are talking about the election and everything. And when you were talking about people getting their PVC and all of that, and I was asking you about the one that just happened in Ekiti
State.
Yeah.
that even some international people were even saying the election is peaceful, is this, is that, where people were selling, you know, like it is not even eating, like it was an open selling of vote.
Yeah.
We are here concerned about the country. Just like one of the caller was talking about, just about 10% people are concerned. The remaining 90% people, they don't care. We are here concerned about the country. We are looking towards the future, how we are going to get things right. But some people are there, they are ready to just collect 1,000 naira, 1,500 to vote nonsense. Sorry for using that word, Esther. To vote nonsense. Esther, you see why all this thing is happening? Do you know how this thing is happening?
Why?
I've told many people, I have told a lot of people, a lot of my friends, it's not because I don't love other tribes. Me that you are seeing, I'm in Lagos, I'm a brought and born in Lagos.
Yeah.
But I used to go to so many states.
Yeah.
Even my best food comes from the east part of Nigeria. There was even a day I was talking to one of my friends about Ofewere. I don't know whether you know Ofewere. When I used to see Prophet Rolex used to eat all those things online. So the thing is now hungering me because those are my own. I love those kind of food from that part of the country. But Esther, let us be realistic to ourselves. Let us just face the truth. There is nothing like one Nigeria. This marriage, Esther, it can't work. You see that thing that they are, because the reason why they take Kanu like that is because they know that he's saying the truth. But they say you can kill the messenger, but you cannot kill the message. EST, let us face the reality. If anything wants to happen in this country today, the first thing you will hear is we the Yoruba. You will first of all hear that thing first. You see, let us leave religion first. That tribe issue, you hear, oh, we the North, we are not favored. Oh, we the Igbos, we are not favored. Esther, so who is deceiving who now? In this in this World Cup going on, we have a country where there was, I'm even hearing that even the country is not even up to Lagos, and they came to World Cup. They came to World Cup and they did well. So why are we deceiving ourselves? Why are we forcing ourselves on ourselves? You see, Esther, that is where the true healing will first of all start from. Let us agree to be together, or forget about being together and let the country be the way it's supposed to be. God created us, but God did not put us together by force. You can only live together by wish. EST. And then when you are talking about this living together, EST, if you look at other countries, they are still going their separate ways. They are still going their separate, and they are living peacefully. So why is Nigeria one like that? Do you know why it's like that? Because some people are benefiting from our divide. Because you see the unity that you are seeing in other countries, if it happens in Nigeria, just like what you see in October 2020 in the ENSAS, it was, EST, we are in federal capital. I know what I'm saying. It was a very scary moment for those politicians. They don't wish to see that kind of thing again in their life. Because that was the first time the country comes together, where you see Muslim praying, Christian protecting them, Christian praying, Muslim protecting them. When you see musicians playing, performing and everything, everybody come together in peaceful protest. So that is the reason why you see that the only thing that they can do is to use that thing, because that is their only weapon. And you see, Esther, when people are talking about Peter Obi, like they say, it's too peaceful, and that is the reason why. That is what they use against Jonathan.
Oh wow!
That is what they use against Jonathan. I'm telling you,
because
you see these people.
It is well.
You see these people. They want power at all costs, and they don't see what they just want is power. And you see this person that is there. That's why you see that everything that we are talking about, it doesn't concern him. Esther, can you tell me everything that we have been talking about, all the things that is happening, the things that is happening? Does he act as if he's even concerned? No. That thing that he cares about is that logo that he wears on his head, that he must fulfill that 8. You see, when they kidnap these children that you're talking about, when they kidnap the children, when people were protesting, that was when the wife were sharing cars for women. Am I lying, Esther?
You're not
lying. That was when the wife was sharing car for people. And then you will see some people, they will tell you that, yes, everybody have the right to support anybody. Okay, fine, you have the right to support anybody.
Thank you. I need to take all the calls, okay? I need to take all the calls. Mr. Elvis, I don't know if you heard about the clash at Ibadan today. I think somewhere, is it Ojo or Ojo somewhere? Ojo, right? At Ibadan. They said there was a bloody clash between Hausa traders and Yorubas in Ojo area of Ibadan. Left 3 people dead, including a kid, and many seriously injured with gun wounds. How did it start? It was last night. A Yoruba keke rider withdrew cash from a Hausa POS. After collecting the money, the transaction failed. Meanwhile, the keke rider already gave the money to whom he wanted to settle, but he waited and offered to drop his phone and the keys to his keke to prove to the Hausa POS guy that I'm not running away, so that they can hold on for network to rectify the problem, but that somehow it allegedly fell on deaf ears and it turned chaotic. The POS operator raised alarm, accused the keke rider inciting a Hausa mob, which sparked an altercation, then led to multiple stabbing of the keke rider to his death. As he bled, they dumped his body at a street corner and continued with their day, until Yorubas mobilized to rush him to the hospital, where he was confirmed dead en route due to the delay. So this morning, few Yoruba youth went there to demand answers and peaceful understanding as to what happened. Why did you kill this guy? But instead, they were welcomed with brute violence and chased them away. So as the Yorubas reinforced, a Hausa man identified as General came out with an AK-47 machine gun, stood in the divide like he wanted to mediate peace, but that was not what he did. Instead, he took an offensive position and started shooting sporadically at the Yorubas that came that morning, which allegedly strayed and hit a kid on errand to get noodles. And then the general, who acted like he was trying to mediate but started shooting, commanded the Hausas to attack what was left of the Yorubas, who were then forced to fight or be killed. No, they called this person in that area general. He's like the Hausa mediator or something. So he came as if he wanted to mediate, but he had a gun and started shooting at the guys who came peacefully to, why did you kill our guy? Waiting happened, reach that level, right? So it now turned to a primal war ground, which allegedly led to the even out killing of one Hausa person until authorities intervened. Despite 2 police stations and a military base in proximity, the chaos expanded into a burning spree and the destruction of businesses. Upon arrival, the general, the supposed man who is called general, was arrested by the army, but his weapon wasn't seized. According to locals, he's also a police officer. Now, the Yorubas are saying that they are at risk of suffering a midnight reprisal attack as it frequently plays out in north-central Kaduna and Plateau region. Therefore, they want all the Hausas to leave the settlement today. So the tension is still on.
Where is the government? That's the same Sheyi Makinde state. Multiple issues.
But it doesn't make sense. Why do these guys, I don't know whether it's lack of
this report,
because of Keke. It happened today. The videos are all over the place. It happened to. Should I play the videos for you?
You see this hatred. This hatred.
láti ẹlẹ́gùn onímọ̀rúwá ọlọ́gbọ́n lọ́dọ̀ pos wọ́n ètò nígbà tó lọ gbọ́ lọ́dọ̀ pos wọ́n wá lówó yẹn tètè lọ́dẹ̀ tí kówó yẹn ó ti gbọ́ ó ti kówó yẹn fún ó wá nígbà òun ti kó òun ti lówó yẹn ókè ẹgbà kọ́kọ́rọ́ márùwá òun nìyí márùwá òun nìyí ẹgbẹ́ ókè fóònù òun nìyí òun ò lè sá lọ for nothing like less than 5 minutes wọ́n rush síbẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe kí ni wọ́n dẹ̀ gún ọmọ yẹn wọ́n stab ẹ̀ ti death tọmọ yẹn ti kú látàlẹ́ àná yẹn ní wàhálà yẹn ti kọ́kọ́ ń rúbọ̀ àárọ̀ yìí àtúwádé bíbá gbé láti ẹ̀sẹ̀ tilẹ̀ àbí kébìlì on getting here àwọn bọ́ọ̀lù ṣe gbé kọjá láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣùtù wa ni ọmọ kékeré tó lọ ra indomie ìbọn bá ọmọ yẹn ti kú báyìí so gbogbo òkè yìí báyìí ìbọn náà kó dání síbẹ̀ ojú ọ̀tá àbọ̀ nìyí o ojú àpá àbọ̀ nìyí o tọ́yìn fẹ́ mi o tí mi ò bá jẹ kankan kánú ṣé mo ní ti kú láàárọ̀ yìí ìtọ́ wọn tẹ̀ mọ́ tọ́fẹ́ fi ṣàmì nìyí o ìtọ́ fẹ́ fi ṣàmì nìyí ẹ imagine police officer ó wá fọwọ́ authorize wọn ìgbẹ́ ká máa yìnbọn sí wa. No.
Saying that he came to collect money from POS.
Yes.
Yeah,
so the network was bad. So he has already collected the money and disbursed the money to the person he wanted to give it to. So he was not telling them that he can't strong, that this is my Marua here, and this is the key to my Marua, this is my phone, I have it, this is my phone, I have everything. That I'm not running. But they didn't listen to him. They started beating him, stabbed him until death. The guy has died since yesterday. They didn't even rush him to hospital. They went and dumped him somewhere else before people rushed him down to hospital. After rushing him down to hospital, before getting to hospital, the guy has died. Has died. He's dead. This money. So when Yoruba boys now moved down there, that when people came down, that why? To know what is really going on. The next thing, we just see those guys from other side. They just rushed down there and started fighting us. Before we know, there is a man. He called himself a policeman or maybe soldier. He was with AK-47. Everybody was caring of him. He was jalabia, blue jalabia. So everybody was caring because of the gun with him. So he wasn't between. He was in between Yoruba and Hausas. So he now went to those Hausas that they should change Yoruba away. Immediately, the guy called general among those Hausas bring out gun and started shooting. Yes, and started shooting. On his way shooting, he has killed a young boy that went to buy Indomie. The guy has died. And when he was shooting, a lot of people were armed. They are in hospital now.
What do you want? What do you want?
We want justice. We don't want them again. We don't want them again. Even me myself, see what they use. They wanted to use to wound me. If they come let me here, they put that let me here.
Why do these guys always resort to violence? You see, if there's it happened in Lagos where they killed one sound engineer. One of them just raised alarm and then they just. Why are they like that?
This is what the politicians have turned this nation to. That
no, there's this impatience. Maybe they don't understand something. They'll just call. There are people who will not even try to ask what happened. The next thing, you don't see dagger come out everywhere. Now wow, we are suffering for wahala. You go and hustle for your daily bread and your family. You will not come back home.
Just imagine the keke man that was killed.
The man just died like that.
Just like, and at the end of the day, nothing will happen.
Hey, Chineke, now wow, Diego, God, oh. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Esther.
Sir, what's your name?
Patrick is calling from Okota. I greet your guest in the studio.
Mr. Patrick, welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you. You see, this scenario that you just played out now, it only happens in one part of the country, that region. Wherever they find themselves, nobody else means anything to them. Once you are not one of them, you mean nothing to them. I traveled to Edo State last year. I was there when they were in that area they call Bola. One Edo guy just had a misunderstanding with one of them. The next thing, that one just raised alarm. They just came around, stabbed this boy to death instantly. And at the end of the day, the matter will end. Look at what you said now. They came there, met the general. They did not disarm him, took him along. The next thing you hear, you find him on the street again. And that is why we are raising alarm. That this insecurity that is spreading. Now we ask the question, where did this man get this AK-47 all of a sudden without wearing uniform? And they call him a general. Just like a child's play. When these people raise alarm on this jihad of Islamization, it's like, don't be surprised. Even those of them that are carrying this condemn whatever that they want to buy here, we see them change to a different thing entirely. This country is at risk because we have compromised so much so that the element that are supposed not to be state actors have now become state actors. They are now see themselves more superior than even those who are highly educated. It is very unfortunate. Don't forget, some time ago, even in Ajawo Estate where you operate, they killed a DPO there.
Yes.
This Okada rider. Have you forgotten?
Yeah, you're right.
Was it not a mob attack like this? How many of them were did you hear them being sent to jail?
Wow, God. It is well, Patrick.
This situation, we don't even know who is going to bail us out of this thing.
It's not good
even
now.
Even during the military, we never suffered this type of humiliation. Today,
it's not
we are in
good.
the hands
They
of
do that
civilians.
thing a lot. It's wrong. It's just
They
wrong.
are compromised to the extent that when you go to the police station where this man was taken to, by tomorrow, they will tell you that he has been transferred to unknown jurisdiction, and you will never hear anything about that case again. It's very, very unfortunate. In short, I hear this thing this evening. I will find it very, very difficult to sleep. And these are the same people that are carrying our children to the so-called forest. Esther, how will you tell me for 50-something days now, and you are telling me that the people that were taken away from Orire, they are in the open space? They are not. This is a well-organized crime. And
Thank
the
you,
authorities is doing
Patrick.
very little or nothing about it.
Thank
All
you,
they are after
Patrick.
is who will win the next election. Look at.
Thank you,
we
Patrick, for calling. All right. Good evening, Esther. FG is in bed with these people. If not, I don't know why people who are supposed to talk and condemn this evil brought to Nigeria. It's very sad. The hardship is too much. Landlords are increasing rent. Foodstuffs are high. Esther, tell me how we're going to cope with this hardship. Esther, good evening. The Igbo leaders are enemies of their tribe. Name them: Umahi, Soludo, Benjamin, Kalu. They are the ones selling their tribe for a plate of porridge. Now, what do you have to say about Shore and so many others that are standing against this current government? Again, if you listen to VOP Yoruba version in the morning, anchored by Ojedeji and Oyefolo, you will know how the Yorubas speak about Tinubu's government. 95% of contributors are against this repressive government. Sarafadin Ajao. Sarafadin, good morning. I listen. Ojedeji is teaching me Yoruba, by the way. Greetings, house. My lady Esther El Capo Mafioso is in charge here in Nigeria. It's only the Almighty God that can deliver Nigerians from the behemoth and mammon gods. God bless you all. Grandma Maggie. Grandma Maggie, good evening. It's been quite a while. Good evening, Esther. Those people still supporting this government are those suffering and smiling, tribalistic nature human beings, even when they can't feed twice themselves and their families a day. 2027 will show them and their paymaster that Nigeria belongs to us all. From Pad O in Okokomaiko. Good evening, Esther. Good evening to you. Temitope Onatoye. I think I already know your write-up. I laugh when I keep hearing Rome is not built in a day. America has used over 200 years to get the level it is today. And China has become the most valued economic country because the citizens stayed focused on technical drive, and our politicians keep telling us different stories on how other countries have made it. But one thing they have failed to tell us is the law that has supported their successes. All right. Finally, on the Baja case, I would like to ask this question. Is it ideal to tell a whistleblower, which Honorable Femi Bajabiamila can be said to be at the moment, to step down from office? Will that not discourage other whistleblowers from coming up to reveal any secrets? To me, since the matter is in court, let's put our fingers crossed and see how it all pans out. From Ijagemo community. Somebody said that, Esther, good evening. If it was like this when APC was trying to contest for power, APC wouldn't have been anywhere today. I don't know why strong opposition parties like NDC and others are being attacked. Courts and INEC at different occasions. Citizens have been threatened despite the fact that there is insecurity in the country. Why are suffering Nigerians the way they are doing politics? Chamer from Agbara. Good evening, Esther. Good evening to you, sir. And the erudite analyst in the studio. Most times, I wonder what type of politicians proliferate Nigerian political sector. I find it hard to believe that at a time like this in Nigeria, when things have turned upside down, instead of the political leaders to come out and tell Nigerians what they have done and still doing to revive Nigeria, they're busy demarketing Peter Obi. The main business of most of them is to attack Obi by cooking up falsehood against him. I think what they fail to acknowledge is, whom God has blessed, no one can cause. Obi is the choice of Nigerians. Please leave him alone. Whom God has blessed, no one can curse. All right. Good evening, Esther, and your guest. My name is Owankwo Obonna. Esther, are you surprised? Let me shock you. In one of the radio stations, a man called and said he will not be alive and CP Obi become president of Nigeria. The question is, how do we get here? It is well. And may that person's prayer get to be. Please, okay. With all that is happening in Nigeria now, it's a big and great lesson for us to learn. It's time for us to sit up and take tougher decisions for us to get out of this quagmire. Iheme from Ago. Good evening, Esther. Good evening. How are you? Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, the messages are not clicking. No. Thank God, though. WhatsApp is hanging. Okay, you don't close. So WhatsApp don't close. Final caller. Hello. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Oscar and Mama.
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Welcome.
I greet your guest.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. You're great.
Thank you, sir.
In fact, you people are unique. You people are very, very unique and amazing.
Thank you, sir.
You people. Esther.
Sir?
This is Samuel from Mushin.
Samuel from Mushin, welcome. How is Mushin today? I heard
Mushin
it's raining. We're feeling
raining,
cold
yeah.
in the studio.
It's raining. Esther, my sister, it's an obvious that we got ourselves into this mess. What is happening in Nigeria? A small boy that went to buy Indomie has been sent to any grave. Child, what is happening in Nigeria? Away from that.
Samuel, your radio is on and it's loud.
Okay, let me go on.
Have you sorted it?
My good future president is lamenting, crying that his life is being threatened. Is it because this man said that he needs a new Nigeria? He wants a country that will work. Is this man crying? Child, there is God, though.
There is God, oh, true.
There is God, though.
There is God, oh.
These people that said that they want, what did they say? That democracy, let democracy breathe. Now it is obvious
that this is happening. Again, away from that again, Christopher Musa saying that our soldiers Sokoto today, that should shoot aside. They should not wait for order to shoot terrorists. It's a good development. I love that. And the question I keep on asking Nigerians, are we ready to take back our country? My fellow youth. Esther, my sister, at my working place, if you come to Mushi, you will see people dressing neatly, begging for food to eat.
Mr. Elvis, I've experienced that thing like 3 times.
Begging ordinary food to eat. God, I am ashamed of being in Nigeria. I'm ashamed.
Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. Nigeria is still your country.
Too much blood has been shed. Is it Boko Haram own? Is it are we killing ourselves?
Is Boko Haram still active? I think now is Lakurawa and one other group as well that just emerged very recently.
Is it what's supposed to be doing this country? Are we not being our brother's keeper? What is happening? Like I said, I have seen that this country is unholy marriage. It's better they share it, let everybody go their separate.
I've always said, if that is what you people want, you need to petition your senators, House of Rep members, councillors, see how they can review the constitution, isn't it? That's the only way to go about it. If the leaders who represent us at the National Assembly and the Senate don't do that, then we are a Federal Republic of Nigeria. Until then,
all politicians, Esther, let them use Erofai as an example. What is happening to this man? This man is the one that fight for APs, that bring APC to power.
Mr. Samuel, calm down, calm down. Don't raise your BP.
Today, the government that he helped to bring power is fighting against him. Is still holding him captivity. Some leaders should learn. Don't brag you have power today. Tomorrow you will drop that power. Another person will take over. Let them release Nnamdi Kanu.
All right,
Let
Mr.
them
Samuel.
release that young man.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. In the case of Nnamdi Kanu, it is the people that kept him there are the only ones that can bring him out, and they know themselves. Mr. Elvis, what's your final take?
Nigerians, stand up and take back your country. Full stop.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's a wrap today. Dear Lies coming up next. I do hope you get on safe because I don't know how bad the rain is out there. My name is Esther Wachuku. Mr. Elvis, you didn't drive. Don't worry, I'll back you.
My road is so flooded that I can't bring out my car.
Up to now?
Yes, very bad road, so flooded. So I managed to swim out.
Sorry.
And now it's raining again. I'm going to find a way to swim back. I don't have an SUV.
Mr. Elvis, don't worry, I'll back you.
So Esther,
I'll take you to my house.
You can't do the job. If I had an SUV, I would have been able to wade in.
Ladies and gentlemen, to wrap on the program this evening, I sincerely do appreciate all of you. Nigeria is going to be great. Trust me. I believe in Nigeria. I'm a beneficiary of this country when things were good. I enjoyed the system, the federal system that looks at competence and don't look at where you come from. They look at your capability. They don't look at your region or your religion. I believe in Nigeria. Yes, as in my best friends. Like, yo, trust me, we will get it right. Forget all of this shenanigan. We are great people and we're excellent. And other countries actually, they wow, because they know that Nigerians are just unique. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Make sure that you stay safe. Be good. Love you. Good night.